All right, welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a really fundamental piece of the Azure cloud, the virtual network, or as you know it, the VNet. Now, if you're working with Azure, I know you've come across it. But here's the real question. Are you thinking about it the right way? Let's dive in and find out.
So, first things first, we have to talk about this huge misconception about VLANs that honestly trips up almost everyone when they're getting started.
And there it is. That one word, network, it kind of tricks our brains, right? We hear it and we immediately think about just connecting things, like plugging in a cable. But in the cloud, thinking that way is a massive trap. And it's this exact misunderstanding that can leave your entire system dangerously exposed.
Okay, so if it's not just a network, what in the world is it? Answering this one question is the key, and I promise you it will fundamentally change how you approach your cloud architecture from here on out.
The real answer lies in a much more powerful way of thinking about it. So for a second, I want you to just erase the word network from your mind and replace it with this one, data center.
This right here, this is the definition you need to burn into your memory. An Azure Virtual Network is your own private, isolated data center that just happens to live inside the cloud. It's a space that you own, that you control completely, totally separate from everybody else.
And this comparison just shows how perfectly that analogy works. So on the left, you've got the old world, a physical building with stacks of servers and a big hardware firewall at the door. Now look to the right, in your Azure VNet. The concepts, they're identical. The physical servers just become virtual machines, and that hardware firewall becomes a network security group. It's the exact same job, just done in software.
So, if the VNet is our data center building, what's actually inside? How do we structure it? Well, let's take a look at the blueprint for building our secure foundation.
And this lays it out perfectly. Just think of it like this. The VNet itself, that's the physical building of your data center, the whole thing. Then, inside that building, you create subnets. These are like the different floors or maybe even secure rooms inside. And then, protecting each and every one of those floors, you've got your security guards. And those are the Network Security Group, or NSG, rules.
So what do these security guards, the NSG rules, actually do? Well, their whole job is to be the gatekeepers between the floors of our data center. They basically stand between your web server and your database, and they check the credentials of every little piece of data that tries to pass between them. They make sure that someone on the public website floor can't just wander down to the super-sensitive customer data floor.
And that brings us to maybe the most important point of this entire explainer. Understanding this stuff isn't just a technical exercise. It's an absolute non-negotiable requirement for working in the cloud. Because when you really peel back all the layers of networking and subnets and rules, this entire structure, this whole data center concept, it's all built to serve one primary purpose.
Security, that's it, that's the whole ballgame. The VNet is your first, and it's your most powerful, line of defense in Azure. It is how you isolate your precious resources from the public internet and from every other tenant in the cloud. It's your private, secure fortress.
So let's be absolutely crystal clear. This is the one thing you have to walk away with. If you don't have a properly configured VNet, you do not have a secure architecture in Azure. Period. End of story. It is the foundation that absolutely everything else rests on.
So, just by shifting our thinking from a simple network to a private data center, we've laid that non-negotiable foundation of security. And the only question left is, now that your foundation is rock solid, what amazing things are you going to build on it?